question. You called Bill Clinton's past transgressions, quote, totally disgraceful and unacceptable. Senator, do you regret saying that?
I was asked a question. You know, one of the things, Andrea, and that question annoys me. I cannot walk down the street, Secretary Clinton knows this, without being told how much I have to attack Secretary Clinton. Want to get me on the front pages of the paper, I make some vicious attack. I have avoided doing that, trying to run an issue-oriented campaign. I was asked a question.
You didn't have to answer it that way, though.
Well,
why did you?
Then if I don't answer it, then there's another front page story. Yes. And I mean this seriously. You know that. We've been through this. Yes, his behavior was deplorable. Have I ever once said a word about that issue? No, I have not. I'm going to debate Secretary Clinton and Governor Malley on the issues facing the American people, not Bill Clinton.
Now, that's how you answer a question. You know, I think that Andrea Mitchell didn't think that Bernie Sanders was going to confirm what he had said about Bill Clinton being deplorable. But he did. And then he went on to make the distinction that during this campaign, he hasn't. And so it is about issues. It is about Wall Street. It is about the economy. It is about health care. It is about firearms. And I think last night was the best debate so far. Unfortunately, it was on a Sunday night. Debbie Wasserman Schultz defending it, but we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to bring in Ruth Conniff, editor of the Progressive Magazine. Ruth, good to have you with us.
Great to be with you, Ed.
How did Bernie handle that last night, and did he finally put it to rest?
I just thought that was brilliant. I thought it was possibly the best moment of the debate. And, you know, not unlike the email exchange that Bernie and Hillary had in the previous debate where he said, you know, I don't care about your emails. And people went crazy because he really has succeeded in breaking the mold of politics as entertainment that really takes us nowhere as citizens. And I think that was so clear there that he, exactly as you said, he was truthful. He did not back away from what he'd said, but he just pointed out how tawdry and cheap that kind of politics is. And I thought that was extremely well done.
And when he said that, you know, President Clinton's behavior was deplorable, Hillary was shaking her head in agreement.
I know. Well, she sort of set herself on nodding in agreement mode. I'm not sure if she meant to keep going at that point.
I was waiting for the follow-up question from Andrea Mitchell, and you agree with that, Secretary Clinton? I mean, that would have been news. All right. There were three big issues last night, Ruth. One of them was Wall Street. Is it an issue that she's taken speaking money from Goldman Sachs? Is it an issue that she does not want to implement Glass-Steagall? And that she thinks that Dodd-Frank goes far enough. I think this was a big issue last night. And then Bernie followed up saying, we're not going to get any of this stuff done unless we take the money out of politics. Break it down for us. What do you think?
Absolutely. It's a huge issue. I mean, that's why we had the Occupy movement. And this is a country that's been through the financial crash that has, I mean, there was the trailer during the debate for this Hollywood movie that is, you know, kind of a weird take, but nonetheless an extremely dramatic take on the subprime mortgage crisis. And, you know, the guy that's going to shoot everybody and blow up one of these CNBC go, buy more stock talking heads. So, you know, clearly the country is focused on Wall Street crime. That's what's propelling Bernie Sanders' campaign. It's what has propelled the movement to support Elizabeth Warren. So it's huge. It's a huge deal. And Hillary is so weak on this issue, saying that she cannot, and this is not just raising money for the campaign. I mean, that's really important. She got $600,000 in speaking fees for herself, personally. She is personally dependent on Wall Street money for her income. And then in addition to that, her campaign has raised a lot of money from Wall Street. So I thought that it was a critical issue. It's a really important issue to voters. It's propelling a lot of grassroots unrest. It's the reason people really want to see change this year, not just, hey, we're going to continue what we've been doing under the Obama administration, which is really the mood of the country, despite Hillary Clinton's talk about that. But furthermore, her answer on that question to try to pivot to saying, oh, Bernie Sanders is, you know, I can take it if he attacks me, but President Obama, he's attacking President Obama. It was so disingenuous, and that was so transparent. It was pretty low.
I thought it was not good either, and I thought that the moderators didn't do a very good job of picking up on that pivot. They didn't hold her feet to the fire on that at all.
Yeah.
All right, firearms. I don't know where, I mean, I think on one hand, on health care, Hillary Clinton says we can't get rid of Obamacare and we got to build on that because we can't go to universal health care. Well, what about firearms? Are we going to go as far as she wants to go? I mean, if this country could get background checks, which, of course, Bernie Sanders is in favor of, I think it would be a great step forward and a realistic step forward.
I mean, the action
what
on
about
gun
that?
Safety is not at the federal level, and the activists know this. You know, the people who are saying it's just unconscionable that we need, you know, as Martin O'Malley said, no self-respecting deer hunter needs an AK-47 to shoot a deer. You know, we can have gun safety and not have, you know, what you know, right after that debate here in Wisconsin, what the top of the news story was is that the Republicans in our state legislature are outraged that you have to be 10 years old to fire a gun in our state, and they're trying to remove any age limit whatsoever on firearms use so people can take their 2-year-olds hunting, I guess. I mean, it's just, you know, it's silly. But at the state level, there's actually been a lot of progress on gun safety and people saying we aren't going to just accept these massacres. You know, we are going to do something about this. But at the federal level, what Hillary Clinton is talking about, you know, that's not, there's nothing really moving there. So I actually think it's a way for her to appear to attack Bernie from the left, but I don't think there's much substance to it. And I think that his position is the position of somebody from Vermont, a state like Wisconsin, where there are a lot of hunters, and where what he's trying to say is, we don't have to have this polarized cultural debate on this. We can get together on what makes sense and what's safe.
And I think that plays to gun owners.
Yeah,
I do. I think Bernie's approach, he doesn't come off as a total gun grabber, and I don't know how that helps Hillary with independent voters.
Yeah,
and in rural America, where, you know, for instance, North Carolina. I mean, that's kind of or Colorado. I mean, these are important. And New Mexico. These are important states.